This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
Hello and welcome to episode 97 of the 1001 Movies podcast, based on the book 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die. This episode, I'll be discussing Krzysztof Kieslowski's 1994 film, Three Colors, Red. Known for his series of films collectively entitled The Decalogue, which aired on Polish television in 1988, Krzysztof Kieslowski was to top that with another series of films, Three Colors, Blue, White, and Red. The first in this series, Blue, is featured in 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die, but for some reason, they skipped over White and included Red. Although why they didn't just include the three films inclusively, like The Lord of the Rings or the Toy Story trilogy, is a mystery to me. Now, blue, white, and red are the colors of the French flag, set in the order the colors appear from left to right. Each color stands for, respectively, liberty, equality, and fraternity. I wouldn't put too much stock in this, however, because Kieslowski has said the only reason those are the titles of the films is because they were made with French money. He himself was Polish, but he had moved to France in the late 1980s. Three Colors Red is about a young Swiss model named Valentine, played by Irene Jacob, who maintains a tenuous relationship with her boyfriend Michel whilst he's working elsewhere in Europe. When she accidentally hits a dog with her car, she brings the poor creature to its owner, a retired judge named Joseph Kern, played by Jean-Louis Trintignant. The judge's hobby is eavesdropping on his neighbor's phone conversations with a ham radio. He tells Valentine she can keep the dog, and then attempts to ensnare her in his illegal hobby by making her tattle on him. She doesn't, but soon he does confess, and his neighbors sue him. Meanwhile, there's a handsome young law student studying to be a judge named Auguste living across the street from Valentine, played by Jean-Pierre Loret, who discovers his girlfriend is having an affair with another man. Valentine and Auguste do not know each other than they often cross paths, and they do meet in the film's conclusion involving an ill-fated fairy trip. Kieslowski has said that Red was the most difficult of the three films in the trilogy to write because he thought that film was too primitive a medium to express his ideas, although they were all mapped out clearly in his mind. That sounds a bit immodest, but everyone seems to agree because Red was a success at the Cannes Film Festival, where it was nominated for the Palme d'Or. It was also a hit with the Academy, as Kieslowski was nominated for his directing, his screenplay, and Piotr Sapinski for his cinematography. They lost to Robert Zemeckis for Forrest Gump, Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction, and Legends of the Fall, respectively. After the release of Red, Kieslowski announced his early retirement. Unfortunately, he died 2 years later at the incredibly young age of 54 of complications during surgery after a heart attack. Sadly, Red's Oscar-nominated cinematographer Piotr Sapinski also died at the even younger age of 43 in 2001. What did I think about Three Colors Red? Oh no, this is a tricky one. A few episodes ago, I lambasted Antonioni's Red Desert, a sluggish and bloodless film that seemed to think it was better than it was. At a brisk 99 minutes, Red certainly isn't sluggish, but, no pun intended, it isn't bloodless. I watched it 3 times. The first time it bored me, so I decided to give it a second shot. The third time, after watching the supplements on the Criterion Blu-ray, I started to appreciate it more, but it was by no means the best thing since sliced bread. Now, I think I get what Kieslowski is trying to say with this. We wander randomly throughout life, and sometimes we forge relationships at the right time and sometimes at the wrong time. As the judge says to Valentine, maybe you're the woman I never met. Valentine's boyfriend, whom we only hear on the phone, is jealous and controlling, but a relationship with the judge, although obviously platonic, allows her to breathe more. She's initially disgusted by him, but due simply to the plot mechanism of the dog, the two draw closer together, and the best scene in the film is when they bond over some peach brandy to celebrate the birth of some puppies. The elderly judge and the ambitious August, who never meet, are inexplicably the same character. They both have dogs, they both become judges, they both have lovers who cheated on them. When the judge says that maybe Valentine is the woman he never meets, and then in the closing moments of the film, through a single image, we realize Valentine and August have finally met, is August what he wanted for himself in foresight? After the movie, will Valentine and August become lovers? Will they marry? Will August become a bitter old man spying on his neighbors? Presumably not, since the judge sees Valentine as a sort of potential savior. The color red, if you want to get very academic about it, can mean a lot of things. It's jealousy, hate, anger, etc. Other than the realization of one's lover having an affair, these meanings don't really come up in the film. However, Kieslowski spreads the color everywhere on his screen, from a smear of blood on a map to a wide shot of an empty theater full of red seats. Although this does seem to be a bit gimmicky for me, it does all look good. You know, here's the thing for me. I really tried with this one. I poked at it again and again and just have to accept the realization that either this is high art for people who are smarter than me, or that I just don't care about the themes and metaphors and what is overall a placid sort of story. Given the amount of critical acclaim this film has received, it's clear that I'm wrong. The film did not do much for me, which accounts for this short and rather unenthusiastic podcast episode. So that's thankfully all I have to say about Three Colors Red. Tune in next time when I discuss Nicholas Ray's 1956 American drama Bigger Than Life, starring James Mason. If you have any questions or comments or want to send me hate mail about the movie I just talked about, you can email me at 1001moviespodcast@gmail.com or follow me on Twitter at 1001moviespc. Until next time, happy viewing.
And the Oscar goes to...
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 Hi, my name is Sean, and I am the co-host of the Best Picture podcast. Each season, my co-host Eric and I randomly select a year and talk about the Best Picture nominees of that year, with each episode dedicated to a different movie. Did the Best Picture really win? Were there any overlooked movies? Was anything nominated that probably shouldn't have been? Listen to us and find out. Look for us wherever you can get fine podcasts.